Over the last few days, stories from the games industry have been revealing behavior that is unacceptable. One of the people named was Lono, aka Sano to Rage, who has previously appeared on episodes of this show. We're thankful to the brave women who have come forward with their stories and experiences and want to let the community know that he will not be returning to Fireteam chat. The episodes he was on have been removed from our back catalog as well. In the future, I'm going to be reaching out to peers from the wider Destiny community before inviting guests onto this show. I want this to be a welcoming place where people can come together and talk about this game that has brought us closer, complain about this game that has brought us closer, and praise this game that has made an amazing community. This week, Bungie wrote the following in their weekly update. Amidst all of this heartache, it has been inspiring to see these stories met with a wave of love, belief, and support that is turning into momentum for more change. Thank you for reaffirming that, though every community has problems, ours doesn't shy away from confronting them and banding together to overcome them head on. That's exactly what we'll be doing with this show, and we hope you'll join us in working to create a positive change for our industry. Thank you. Now on with the show. All right. Hi, everybody. So I know that was pretty serious. So I'm going to break it up a little bit with a welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me today is Travis.
And I cannot stress this enough, Clunky.
And Brian Malkowitz.
C-Team.
That's right. And on today's show, we are going to be talking about the Iron Banner news. We're going to be talking about a few other things that I actually didn't tell our co-hosts about. And I'm really excited to be talking about Destiny today. Let's get right into the juicy stuff. We do know that Iron Banner is coming back. It begins at 10 a.m. on June 30th, and it ends at 10 a.m. on July 7th. There are two reprised weapons, the Forward Path and the Fool's Remedy. And here's what they said in the TWAB. All weapons listed below are considered reissued and will have Season of Arrival max infusion caps. Shining Sphere, Swarm of the Raven, Talons of the Eagle, Bite of the Fox, Or Wings Maul, Criminal's Dagger. Brian, besides, we'll get to the other stuff in a minute, but I think you know what the one interesting part of all this is. And do you want to reveal it for everybody or no?
No. What's the interesting part? Go, I want to know what you.
All right. Okay. It's the mods. It's the interesting perks that are going to be added.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes, you're right. That is interesting.
We know what Iron Grip is. It's going to improve weapon stability at the cost of reload speed. And Iron Gaze, it's going to improve weapon target acquisition at the cost of range. So for me, it's interesting that we're going to be getting new mods. We're going to be able to acquire armor that's probably going to have high rolls. This is our first.
Are they mods or are they weapon perks?
Perks. They're specific to Iron Banner weapons. Iron Grip and Iron Gaze. So high level rolls. This is our first non-skill based matchmaking Iron Banner. I'm actually pretty excited. What's your reaction to the new gear, Brian?
You mean the reissued gear or what?
Yeah, the reissued gear. So I'll let you talk, but I think this is going to fold really nicely into one of the topics I wrote on the Run show. So take it away.
Right. Yeah.
I've talked about it before in the past, but I just like this sunsetting. This ain't it. This
is exactly what Destin feared when they announced.
This is I think what everybody feared. This is what everybody feared, right? It's just like you're sunsetting weapons because you want to rotate things out of. Assuming you want to take things out of the meta and allow for us to want to play, do new things so that way they can create new gear without worrying about these old things that have just taken over the meta like Mountaintop and Recluse. And so it's like I have a perfectly rolled Swarm of Raven sitting in my vault that I'm like, oh man, I'm never going to get to use this in the end game anymore. But then they come out and they say, "Oh yeah, here's Swarm of the Raven again, but with a Season of Arrivals tag." And you're like, "Why? Why is that a thing?" What it's like it doesn't make any sense. It's like if you're going to sunset, just sunset it so that way it's like I don't, because now I don't want to delete this. Now I don't want to delete this Swarm of the Raven that's perfectly rolled, because what if someday they reintroduce some, which I don't want them to do ever, is like, oh, it's like, oh, you could, you can consume a new Swarm of the Raven to make your old Swarm of the Raven better, and it's just like that just defeats the entire purpose of what sunsetting is supposed to be. And I just do not agree with the whole bringing all the reissuing these weapons. It makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, so interesting. I'm just shocked by this news, and I'm shocked and amazed that this has happened. That all of a sudden, all these people that are like, sunsetting is going to be great. Travis, what's your reaction now?
Yeah, as one of those people who said sunsetting was going to be great, I think the caveat when we did that episode where it was like me, Paul, like we were all against you, right? I think the one caveat was that we said, but they have to, take advantage of it. They have to actually like make some new interesting weapons rather than just rehashing stuff. And looks like they're going to be rehashing stuff. So
boy, rehashing
yep.
Man.
Rehashing
is putting it lightly, I think, right? Because this is not even rehashing. It's just like, hey, here's this thing.
Exactly the same weapon.
Hey, it has new perks, right? Maybe.
No, does it?
The Iron Grip.
The stuff I'm getting this season is exactly the same.
I don't even know if like Swarm of the Raven and all these are getting the new perks. Are they? I don't know.
Here's the crazy thing. I was talking about this on stream last night, and I'm just like, maybe this is what they just want this game, right? They have limited amount of things that they can put into the game. And eventually they're just like, well, what are we going to do? We got to keep thinking about new stuff. Let's just reissue the things every year. And we'll do that in small packages so that you can have your God roll thing for this season. And I really don't like this.
No, it's like if you have nothing new to make, don't make anything at all.
Well, it's just weird.
I don't know.
Being on that hamster wheel of, oh, you got Swarm of the Raven? Go get it one more time. That is just so fatiguing. But
no, I refuse to do that grind. I'm not doing that ever.
Yeah. But I will say this. Here's what's been somewhat interesting to me. I have really enjoyed the weapons this season. They've been very strong, and they are fun to play with. Like the guillotine has been great.
That gun's broken.
Yeah, the new swords have been awesome. Both of them, even the one that's not broken. And I hear the pulse rifle is really good, though I haven't fallen in love with it yet. But I was wrong about Recluse too, so we'll see what happens there.
And don't forget about my boy Gnawing Hunger. I think feels very good this season.
The AR, yeah, it's like the number one used AR in the game right now, right?
Not
standing
even
behind Truth Killer.
Yeah, so now we're not quite a month in. We're 3 weeks in to the new season, right? We've kind of gotten a taste of what weapon sunsetting is going to be like, and I just look at every weapon and I'm like, is it 1360? No. All right. Well then, like if it's the current power cap, I just don't even care unless it's the best roll I could have ever gotten. You're just going to be throwing away so much stuff. And it's just, honestly, it's like another chore added to the game. Cause now you have to consider what season it's going to retire in. You have to consider the role. I guess that's like fun for some people. Like some people really, really enjoy that sort of chase. But now the addition of chasing these same things it's really, really fatiguing. Travis, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that one of the more annoying things, because you said it's like another chore in Destiny, and Destiny doesn't really right now give you the tools to like do that chore well. Like, there's not a way, at least that I know of in your vault, to filter by maximum power. That way you can just focus on the stuff that is going to be relevant the longest, right? I'm sure third party apps like Dim are probably working on that if not already have it. But it's just like the actual game doesn't really give you the tools to do this sort of thing. And as Brian said, now that you've got your old Swarm of your Raven and your new Swarm of the Raven, it's sort of like it's not even easy to identify it based on the season it came out in, right? It's just like, all right, well, which version of the same gun is it this time? So
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah, I agree. It's just been kind of like, well, I'm glad you guys kind of see the issue. And that's why I was like, I foresee this becoming a problem pretty easily. Like it seemed really pretty apparent to me. And I am seeing people recognize that. Hopefully Bungie is also recognizing that and that we get some sort of solution. And well, I mean, with their timeline, it's not going to be readily happening. I extra super agree on the armor front though. Armor, just sunsetting armor to get the same armor, it just doesn't make any sense. Like right now,
That's worst.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have a look I really like right now. I actually really like the armor from the season pass. So like design wise, they're knocking it out of the park. The weapons are cool. It's really, really fun to have powerful weapons for the season. And the armor looks sick. The armor looks really, really good right now. And are they going to be reissuing that in a year? So am I going to be chasing this armor set that I've fallen in love with again in a year? It's like, come on, you guys. Like that ain't it.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
say this. This is the first iteration of it, and it's happening in between expansions. It is possible that sunsetting looks a lot better next season if they release, a whole bunch of new weapons that aren't the old ones, and it kind of makes us feel like, okay, well, we're not going to be chasing the same stuff over again. This is that was just sort of like a stopgap measure in between, the major expansions coming out. So it's possible that this season is kind of an exception to the rule, and that this won't be as bad as it's starting to look like it's going to be. So,
as a word is thrown around quite too often, at least with Bungie and Destiny, is I will be cautiously optimistic on that front.
Yeah, they're taking steps in the right direction, right, Brian?
Yeah, the roller coaster. We need to go back to that. Another
Oh
one
God,
of our.
oh God.
We need to be here on the downslope where it's fun again.
I'll say I don't know what it is about this season. I don't know if it's because the weapons are cool, because it's the first season with sunsetting, or what.
I think it's the swords, man. The swords just feel so damn good.
Yeah,
this season.
The swords feel really good. As far as we know, there's only one thing to fully level up. Like we'll see if we get another Umbral Tricaster when they open up Titan or whatever. But I've already maxed it out. That's really good. I'm getting showered with rewards constantly. So like the loot game, sort of like them giving you stuff, just constantly throwing stuff at you, that's feeling pretty good. I still don't know what the answer is with the collection system. I hope Bungie's sort of looking at that, trying to figure out something like to check that check mark on your collection system. How are you guys feeling about the gear game, like just the collection of things as you play through? Because there's new pinnacle ways to level up, and I feel pretty good about that aspect of the game. Brian, how are you feeling?
Like when you say, what do you mean? Like
the amount of loot that you're getting, the amount of rewards that you're getting for participating with activities within the game.
Yeah, it feels good. Like at the end of a play session, I feel like I have a lot of Umbral engrams. And that was good because like a lot of the loot inside of the Umbral engrams is good. So there's always some roles that I'm chasing, especially with like Gnawing Hunger, or the Falling Guillotine. Just chasing those god rolls. So every time I get through a PlayStation, and I keep on saying PlayStation. Why do I keep saying PlayStation?
We get it. You like PlayStation.
I'm not even a PlayStation man. Anyways, I lost my train of thought now that I keep on saying PlayStation. It's like having all these Umbral engrams. I think is a really cool and positive change to the game, and I hope that they iterate that on in seasons going forward of like targeted loot and things like that. So yeah, we'll see. I think that's probably one of the most positive things from the season is the Umbral engram system.
Yeah, Travis, What about you? Are you digging that part?
Yeah, I would say that for the Umbral engrams, it has sort of made me think, wait a second, why aren't all engrams like this? Like when I get, prime engrams, why doesn't Master Rahul let me pick like the archetype that I want, and I level up with the Crypt Arc every season? And so it's kind of like made me like now when I get regular engrams, I'm kind of like, you Crypt Arc, you're ripping me off, like you're holding back on me, So but yeah, I think they should just make that part of the the whole loot system. Like that's clearly an improvement on the complete randomness of just getting an engram and turning it in. Gives
And
you choices.
yeah, you know what? And I've been wondering, because the Chalice did this in the Menagerie. Right now, one of the quest steps is basically go in Menagerie. That's a very fast way to finish the story mission for the week. And it reminded me, oh yeah, we were baking our weapons in Menagerie. This Umbral Tricaster thing feels good. So like you had to level up the Umbral Tricaster to be able to given the options to hone your engrams, your Umbral engrams. And I kind of like that loop. And I do think that is what their answer is going to be for getting the rolls that you want on armor. I think they're going to make armor easier to acquire going forward. And this is their first iteration of that. What do you think? Do you guys think I'm onto something, or absolutely crazy?
I hope you're onto something.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy at all. Yeah, I think Bungie does want that. They want like they said in the past, is they want people to see this game as a hobby and keep them around playing, and that's kind of how you do it, right? You give them a target, and when you're not playing this game and you don't know what you're going for, because when you're going into an activity, you don't know what you're getting out of it, right? And I think they want to solve for that. And I think the recaster and the Umbral engram system is a way to like give those players like a focus, even if it's not, because you're not secluded to one activity. It's like you can get Umbral engrams anywhere in the game, basically. So it's you do whatever you want, and you're going to get a bunch of these engrams, and then you can go target whatever loot you want to try and get out of that. So I think that's a good solution for that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, further extrapolating upon that, what are some other positive aspects that you guys are seeing in this season overall? We kind of talked about weapon sunsetting up front. That's definitely a big negative. Is there anything that you want to highlight as an overall positive that you're currently seeing? Because, I'm having a good time. I just wanted to throw it to you guys and give you a chance to talk about things that you like, or something that you sort of like, but it needs to adjust this way. Travis,
I guess I'm liking the fact that the story isn't like front loaded. We've had a lot of seasons where you just do like a small piece of story, like Shadowkeep's kind of a good example, and then you're kind of resting on your laurels and repeating the same events every week. I like that there's a reason to log on with the story. That said, I obviously wish that the story missions were a little meatier, had less of repetition to them, and kind of more cohesion, more content. But I do like the idea of them delivering it over kind of a week-to-week period, because it gives you a reason to log in besides let's grind for power, because I don't really care about power anymore. I beat the dungeon. Once you are leveled up enough to play the dungeon again and again, you don't really need to do Garden of Salvation and level up for that. So maybe Iron Banner will change that when it debuts today, but I'm not really seeing a reason to level up power. So it's nice to have other reasons to log on, and I think the season's doing pretty good at that.
Yeah, my main reason on the power note is next season, actually. And I think I talked about it the last episode. I really like that we know we're in the prologue. So any story development that we're getting right now is setting us up for September. And then anything in September to the next thing is setting us up for, 2021 and then 2022. And I really, really like that. Brian, any positive things that you're experiencing? Anything you want to highlight?
I will say, I know we talked about it just a little bit before, but it kind of goes back to the last season too, though. It feels really good that swords are in a great place right now. Aside from the fact that Falling Guillotine is like actually bugged and broken and doing like an extra swing of damage, that sword would still feel good even without that bug. Same thing with rocket launchers. Rocket launchers are on the up and up. They're starting to have their place in the game again after it's been so long that rocket launchers, aside from like Wardcliff Coil, haven't been great for so long. And now that they've brought out these new mods and some of these good rocket launchers, I think Bungie's starting to fix a lot of the problems with some of the loot and some of the archetypes of weapons that have been gone and ignored for a long time. And I kind of hope that trend continues, especially with scout rifles. Fix scout rifles.
Man, it would be nice if scout rifles were in a good place too. That's a good point.
Yeah, but if you have scout rifles that are good in the game, then you immediately destroy bows.
That's true. Just put them in line. There you go, Bungie. We fixed it for you. Problem solved. Did you guys end up doing the dungeon farm? I asked, knowing full well Brian helped me do the dungeon farm, and I'm guilty.
No idea what you're talking about.
Did you,
I
Travis?
did not do it. No.
I don't
Again,
blame
I
you.
don't really have a reason to level up. It's sort of,
No,
I
the
did
farm
dungeon.
the farm doesn't level you up.
Well, it gives you your
It's-
one powerful drop
it's-
from that encounter.
Well, from the first time you do it, but after that, it's
So it's
powerful.
just you farming like rolls on the weapons or armor or whatever.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
you heard about the glitch that was happening, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like you stay in the activity after it's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't do it.
Um,
Well, good for you, because we all did. Everybody did.
Yeah. I didn't do what was the last one that Destin did too? What was that?
Oh, the AFK
the black
farm?
armor.
Everyone did that.
I didn't do that either.
You guys are crazy. You guys are over here breaking terms of service. I have never done anything like that.
No, actually, they say our mistake is your gain. They said that,
Oh, yeah,
and they
that's
corrected it. So yeah.
It's not. Yeah, you're not breaking terms of service.
So I guess the last question for this episode, it's a little bit of a shorter one. Brian has a busy day with summer gaming, and I really appreciate you both during all the craziness to make some time. But I am sort of curious, what are you doing in Destiny right now? Like, how are you playing the game? How are you taking breaks, or what are you doing? I'll start with you, Travis.
Playing Crucible.
Yeah, what you going for?
I'm just playing Crucible. It's kind of what I do. But yeah, I'm trying out new stuff. I brought my Truth Teller that's got blinding grenades and stuff like that. So I'm having fun with that, blinding people and taking them out in comp. And yeah, I'm doing that. I'm replaying the Prophecy dungeon, and then opportunistically doing other events and just sort of having fun with it. But this is sort of for me, like, log on, get the major stuff done every week, like the story mission, and then after that, just sort of play until you're burned out and ready to go back to Last of Us 2 or whatever.
Right.
So,
What about you? What about you, Brian? I know you've been raiding a lot. You've been doing the dungeon. You've been on there pretty hardcore lately. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm mostly doing end game stuff, right? For to do the power grind. My goal right now is to get plus 20 on the artifact, because at some point I want to grind. Oh, I got a little try here. I'm sorry. I've been playing a lot of the end game stuff and doing all that, so we can get to at least, I think, 1080, because the max power is 1060, right?
yes.
Max power is 1060, and so if I get plus 20, then I go to 1080, and I want to start grinding master Nightfalls. I don't think I'll be touching Grandmasters this season, but just because I want to like get all my mats in order. I'm feeling a little low on like things like enhancement prisms, ascended shards, things like that. So that way I have a bunch going into year 4 of D2 with all the new stuff that's coming. So
And then they're going to change all the currencies to
I
strange
know they will
coins.
absolutely do that,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, so it's been a lot of bounty grounding in the background as I do a lot of these end game things. Not being a moon bounty goblin, but yeah. So I don't think I'll be doing the bounty stacking this time around for season 4 though.
Yeah, well,
You say that now. Yeah, you
you
will.
got like 2 more months. You're totally
I'm
gonna do it.
I hope that Bungie comes out and just says, "Hey, we're changing the way bounties work, so don't save them because they're going to get deleted." So that way, I
Yeah.
can just be free of that and then never have to do it again.
Yeah.
That would be
As
nice.
for myself, I've been working on the power grind. I really wanted to hit 52 on the. Yeah, it's 52 because there's something that unlocks for the Umbral Tricaster later on in the pass, and I think it's at 52. Maybe it's at 46. Anyway, so I grinded that out. I did all that. That was actually a lot of fun. I maxed out my Umbral Tricaster. I'm actually enjoying sort of like this loop of you max that thing out, you're going to get more drops. Go do the weekly story, you're going to get more XP. More XP is going to unlock more on your season pass. And I've actually been sort of enjoying that loop of unlock the story missions. Also, just for fun, because I'm weird. I don't know. I've been recapturing all of the cutscenes from the content that's been that's going to be going away, and enjoying
all
that.
the year one stuff.
So I did all of Red War, I did all of Curse, and I did all of the other one,
Warmind.
and I'll do the others at a later date. But man, it is so
How'd that
interesting to
feel?
go back. I hate Curse still. I cannot stand Curse. I think
I like the boss fight at the end.
I went back.
Boss fight's actually kind of fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
I did not. It's just anyway. Go watch my review. I gave it a 5.5 back in the day. I still
I'm not saying
don't
the
like
whole
it.
story isn't bad. I'm just saying the boss fight wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the only
whatever.
highlight.
The whole of Curse of Osiris is poo poo, but
Yeah, but anyway, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place. No, I don't like the sunsetting thing. I don't like that I'm trying to replace my god roll weapon with another god roll weapon. That doesn't feel good.
well,
You
like I
know?
said, I refuse to do that grind. If they're going to reintroduce weapons identically to how they started with Season of Arrivals, like I refuse to go out there and get that same gun on that same roll. I'm not participating in that because I don't agree with that
Design
system.
philosophy. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not agree with that design philosophy at all.
Yeah, it's weird. And like I got my Ikelios trench barrel roll, so that part's weird. So besides that, I'm having fun, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. We got a lot of new content. I can't wait to see what they have this fall. Brian, I know you have to get out of here, but thank you, Brian and Travis, for making the time for the show today. And I know it's a little shorter, and I know our community likes longer episodes. We're gonna get back there again, but the show was always designed as a 3-person, 30-minute show, so we're right about in that range, and we're on more platforms than ever. So thank you for the support, community. Yeah. All right, that's all I have for this episode. So we'll sign off with our regular sign off and say, until next time, everybody, Guardians out.
Out.